the quarter-final number 3, the man they call Sweet As, James Honey.
James Honey versus Tommy Kokoreski. I tell you what, James Honey, nice, stylish, tall, stylish fighter, rangy, good hands, of course, trained by Peter Hatton. You know, they're going to be able to box when they're trained by Pete.
I think he even went over to WA and spent a bit of time over in the pit as well, just to sharpen things up. James Honey, but I tell you what, this will be an interesting one. Again, a couple of dark horses. Wraps on this young fella, Tommy Kokoreski.
Tommy Kokoreski, the hardest kicking southpaw you've seen. He will hold nothing back when he fires off his rear leg.
Tommy trained by George Castro out at Team Ultimate up there. He's part of the Ultimate franchise.
Indeed, he is.
So James Honey with the pink stripe down the hair.
Yeah, something different.
If you're going to make a statement, you may as well go out on a limb. Not that anyone's going to argue with young James Honey. So James Honey with white trunks and, of course, the pink stripe down the head. 3 2-minute rounds. Quarter-final number 3.
He's already Kokoreski. Watch, he'll step through off his lead and just fire that rear leg. Nothing else.
You can already see Honey's just trying to parry those kicks away, Hammer, so he's already felt the power of Kokoreski. Kokoreski definitely favouring the kicks, whereas Honey's more trying to use the hands. Height and reach advantage going the way of Honey as well.
Oh, spinning heel kick, beautifully done.
Hammer, that's a technique that if it lands is as good as any technique you'll see.
Up a little bit, kick up a little bit, mate.
Crew GF just asking Tommy Kokoreski just to keep the kicks up a little bit high.
You see Tommy just smashing away that inside thigh. He'll go after the rear leg or the inside thigh of the lead leg.
And the rear arm, of course, of James Honey, as you can see at the moment, is red raw. Kokoreski's got through a couple of times. Hammer, it sort of takes me, kicking away at the arms and just, you take that weapon away, sort of takes me back to the days of Yodson Cly versus Preacher on the Contender.
Yeah, I was actually in the Preacher's corner at the event that day, and I can't tell you how devastating it was to see Preacher get his arm kicked almost off his body.
But that's a great, and you can see here if you're watching this at home, the right arm of Honey has already taken a bit of a pounding there. Yeah, you can't underestimate. If you take that away, it's going to be pretty hard to throw a punch from that right hand.
See the colour of his arm? That's me anytime the sun comes out. It's going from white to red.
Coming into summer, Hammy, bit of slip, slop, slap.
Oh, yeah.
But I tell you what, a good first round there, I think, for Kokoreski.
Kokoreski steps across, full power, off the rear leg all the time.
Round 2. The winner of this one will take on the winner of the next fight, which is Brett McCluskey and Pierce Shields from New Zealand. So, again, having the boys coming up for the next fight, they're trying to get into the zone for their fight, but they're probably wanting to also have a bit of a sneak peek to see what's going on outside. They're probably just standing in the doorways now, waiting to come out, trying to focus. But Kokoreski at the moment just seems to be controlling this with his kicks. Step up side kick. Honey's really not doing anything, Hammer, that's going to draw any attention to the scorers.
I would just like to see Honey, he's got to step off to his left and throw that right a bit more. He certainly has the height and reach, but he's sort of counter-fighting, and that's probably the worst thing you can do if you fight Tommy Kokoreski. If you stand there and let him kick you, you're going to be in a world of hurt.
Again, whilst Tommy's been peppering away with those kicks, he's got to try and save his legs as well, because you don't want to be going into a semi-final with any sort of damage.
Again, into the body, big round kick to the body. Not really using his punching a lot, Tommy, either. He's just really heavily reliant on his kicking power, and I suppose he's had a lot of stoppages via that big right rear round kick, the left round kick, so he's going to draw to that weapon all the time.
Like I said, trained by George Castro out at Team Ultimate there, and a big shout out to Johnny Sheeter, the head of Team Ultimate.
Johnny, the real stalwarts of kickboxing and Muay Thai in Victoria.
But again, Kokorevsky just loading up with those leg kicks, and Honey's not checking the kicks, he's catching them on the arms. If Honey gets through, he's going to be a sore boy coming into the semi-final, Hammer.
Yeah, he's got to have a little bit more evasion and use his hands a little bit more. Once he breaks that kicking distance, he should get on the inside and let his hands flow a little bit. But he's almost tentative in his attacks. James Honey with 10 fights, Kokorevsky with 7, so Honey actually has a little bit more experience. But looking at the fight, Kokorevsky's controlling it, mature of the two technically.
Big shout out once again to our sponsors getting behind tonight, Quest Environments.
Oh, big head kick there to open up the round.
Honey's he's got to get the knockout or at least an 8-count, Hammer, to probably even push it to an extension round at this stage.
Yeah, into the body he goes, walks back, counters Kokorevsky.
But you can already see that in Honey though. He knows he's down on the card and he's trying to step up the pace and get on the front foot, but he's just getting caught every time as he comes in from Kokorevsky.
Walks back. Oh, the spinning heel kick. Just rotates around with that turn off the head. Beautifully done. Of course, Rebellion events are really going from strength to strength. And if you want to find out a little bit more about Rebellion, of course, check them out on Facebook. There's a whole heap of information there. Of course, the Rebellion website as well. And a heap of old footage there. So if you like what you're seeing, there's a whole lot more on the website.
I think 20,000+ likes on the Rebellion Muay Thai page. So always updated, always bringing together the good fights. And again, great support from Singer Beer, Sting Sports. Of course, every fighter tonight wearing the Sting Sports gloves, Ladbrokes, and of course, Synergy's William Street gym down there in William Street in Balaclava.
The fighting suburb of Balaclava.
It's not one you normally think of, is it, Hammer? But I tell you what, it's...
oh, Kokorevsky with a double round kick. No, it's not.
We've seen some good fighters coming out of the William Street gym and, of course, the home of Rebellion Muay Thai, 100% Muay Thai.
Although he does focus a bit on boxing down at William Street. There's some great boxing coaches down there as well. Sai himself stepping in on the pads.
Also promoter of the Boa Super 8.
Yeah, the Boa Super 8. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Jiu-Jitsu for the people that love that.
Getting his tongue around that. But I tell you what, Kokorevsky at the moment just racking up the scores, Hammer. James Honey's going to have a very sore right arm. He'll be using the left arm when he's putting down a couple of singers a little bit later on, I think, Hammer.
Stop!
Yeah, there you have it, Hammer. This one, it shouldn't go any other way apart from Tommy Kokorevsky. But you said it at the start, he loads up with those left kicks.
Yeah, and, you know, against a fighter of around his experience as James Honey, Tommy's going to be a formidable opponent, but against some of these more experienced fighters.
And there you have it, Hammer. Big win there to Tommy Kokorevsky. Commiserations of James Honey.